Hey everyone, welcome back. Excited to have you here for today's video. We're doing a July 2025 Canmore real estate market update and surrounding area. As you can see here, we're in our new office space, so we're looking forward to showing you guys that as well. Let's dive right into it. Canmore, we had 38 sales for an average sale price of $1.238 million. Average square foot price was $742 a foot, and the average days on the market was 64.
And in Deadman's Flats, we had one sale, $659,400 was the average sale price. The average square foot price was $1,171, and the average days on the market was 22. There was nothing in Harvey Heights, Lac des Arcs, and Exshaw. And then in Banff, we had two sales. Average sale price was $791,500. The average square foot price was $716 a square foot, and the average days on the market was 74.
So now we'll talk a little bit about those statistics later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. We're going to break down specific property types for Canmore specifically. Single family homes, we saw 8 sales for an average sale price of $2.3 million. Average square foot price was $846 a foot, and it took an average of 58 days for those single family homes to sell.
Townhomes, there was 7 sales in the month of July. $1,012,000 was the average sale price. The average square foot price was $674, and the average days on the market was 54.
Apartments, we saw 10 sales for an average sale price of $756,000. The average square foot price for those apartments was $680 a foot, and it took an average of 52 days to sell.
Half duplexes, there was 2 sales. 1.547 was the average sale price. The average square foot price was $592 a square foot, and the average days on market was 14.
We'll talk a little bit about short-term rentals here. Hotel condos, we saw 5 sales for an average sale price of $458,000. Keep in mind that's because 2 of the 5 were fractionals. Average square foot price $661 a foot, and it took an average of 95 days to sell.
Tourist homes, there were 3 sales for an average sale price of $898,217. The average square foot price was $1,072, and the average days on market was 29.
Let's talk a little bit about year-to-date and inventory levels. Do you want to talk about sold listings?
Sure. So sold listings in 2024, we had 307, and we are down in 2025 to 283, so we're 8% down in our sales.
End of month active inventory. We had 190 active listings at the end of, 2024 year-to-date. And then we have 205 2025 year to date. So that's an increase of 8%, which in turn reflects the dip in price. I don't want to say dip in price, but the leveling off of the market, the days on the market increasing, that sort of stuff.
And it's kind of what we've been talking about over the last few market updates was we're seeing stuff on the market longer, our inventory's going up, our days in the market are taking longer, so in turn, things tend to level off a little bit.
You bet. Do you want to do average sale price?
Sure. So average sale price year to date, we had $1,124,000 and change, and that was in 2024. In 2025 year to date, we have 1.315 and change, and so we're up 17%. Now, a few months ago, if you guys remember and you follow us, you will have saw we had, and I don't remember the exact number, but quite a jump in the percentage increase, and that was due to a couple of really big sales. And we did say that would start to level out, and it has. And I think, just like you and I were talking before our video here, was things are slowing down a little bit. Now, I don't want that to be alarming because we are in the valley, and in the last week or so, we have seen, or I have seen, in the hot sheets that we see every day, quite a few more sales. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the month what that looks like.
Yeah.
But again, don't be alarmed that we're leveling off. We're definitely not in a downturn in the market.
Yeah.
We're just seeing more inventory, longer days on the market, so those things tend to.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where that 17% sits kind of towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
I do think that you'll start to see that number maybe come down a little bit more, but not in significant jumps as we've seen over the last couple months. I do think that it is a little bit more of a slower July than normal.
Yes.
Typically, July is one of the busier months of the year, so it'll be interesting to monitor that. But I also think that that's a reflection of our inventory levels. I mean, Realtor Rounds every single Tuesday, we're seeing like 10 plus listings
Yeah.
on there a week, which we haven't seen that since pre-COVID. So, you know, that's a positive sign too for the market. So I don't think that if you're in the seller's market, it's a time to panic at all.
No.
You know, I think it might be a time to kind of stick to your guns and hold a little, maybe kind of monitor it and reflect what the market is telling us. But we're definitely not seeing a depreciation on your asset. And then in turn, for the buying side, you know, typically we say, you know, for buyers, it's always a good time to get in as quickly as you can because prices are appreciating nonstop in Canmore.
Yeah.
However, I think like maybe not traditionally, July and August are always a kind of a harder time to buy because the market is usually really hot. With what the statistics are telling us, I think that there's some good opportunities out there. The days on the market are increasing a little bit. So I think, well, there obviously is some flexibility because we're seeing that sale price level out a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you're in the buyer's market or if you're in the buying market, there are some good opportunities that exist. And if you're a seller, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to give things away either. So.
And I agree with that. I think that for the seller's perspective, it's really important to have somebody that's well versed in the market and understands so that you're pricing your property correctly.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of equity, capital equity for people who have, you know, purchased previously to gain that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could end up sitting on the market a really long time if you don't price correctly.
Correct.
You know, this 17%, it's not sustainable.
No.
Right? I mean, if you can manage to do, you know, 5%, 8% a year, you're doing really, really well. So I think, you know, 17%, it's good to see that number down. It keeps our market really balanced, you know, and it allows people to get into the market and people to get out and feel comfortable with what they have and what they've done.
Totally. And like we've talked about on average, right, over the last 5 years, let's call it, you know, annually, people are appreciating at around 8 to 10%.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you know, 17% is quite a large number, like you said. And I could see that number being over 10% this year. So by all means, if you're a seller, this is one of the better years in Canmore because you're going to hold over that 10%. So just because we're having a little bit of a slow summer, I don't want to even say slow summer, slow July, monitor it come August. Make sure you stay tuned to this video because we're going to dive into that. And I do think that it's a good time to be an asset owner in the Canmore real estate market.
And I wonder if we've had a unusually wet summer, which
is good.
Has been really good. You know, I think about people all over Canada that have, you know, struggled with fires, and it's definitely a real thing. And we've been really fortunate here this year to have as much rain, but it has slowed down. I don't want to say tourism because it seems busy here all the time, but it definitely feels a little bit slower and sleepier than it has in the past summers when it's, you know, 30 plus for days on end. So, you know, that could have an impact a little bit on what we saw in July because we did have a really wet July. August has been nice, and like I said, the hot sheets of the market seem to be really strong. So we'll see what that holds.
Yeah, inventory levels are good, so can't complain there. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It really does help us grow and get this out to more people who could benefit. And if you're a repeat viewer, thank you so much. We look forward to coming at you with more content and announcing our grand opening of our new office space here in October. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be coming at you with some more content moving forward. Thanks for watching.